the Caveman Room, the Madonna Inn in Central California on the coast. And the reason that I am here is because real estate over the years has given me lots of time, effort, energy, and funding that allow me to slow my life down and to be able to go do some fun things. Yes, this is a very big stick, says Brett. This thing's like 200 pounds too. Not that much, but it's heavy enough it'll put a dent into you if you get hit with it. Anyway, this business over the last 20 years has provided plenty of time, effort, energy for me and funds to go do a lot of cool things, which in my case, I like to travel, I like to vacation, I like to do things like that. And it's good to slow down once in a while. Today's topic, however, is the opposite of that. It is where you need to speed up. It's where you need to be able to make sure your team members, specifically a real estate agent you're working with, is on the same sheet of music as you. Let me give you a little background. Being in this thing 23 years now, I've seen several cycles of market going up, market going down, and you act differently in an up market than you do in a down market. The down market, as we're starting into right now, is a great market for real estate investors because, and especially for us transactional engineers, because it allows us to buy a lot of different ways, and it gives us a source of knowledge to do deals that other people don't have. And unless they've done this course with us, they're not going to get it. But part of that is when you're in a downward economy for housing, you have to have a real estate agent who also understands how to pivot on this deal. So think back, way back 6-8 months ago when houses were hard to buy and easy to sell before interest rates went up. Today, it's the opposite. Houses are easy to buy and hard to sell. And the reason they're hard to sell is because interest rates have gone higher. Buyers aren't willing to either spend that amount of money or make those larger payments because of higher interest rates. But the biggest problem that we're seeing personally is we're dealing with, in some cases, real estate agents who don't have a background in a slump, in a downward housing economy. So why is it different? Well, let me give you an example. 15 years ago, you had to bite and claw and scratch and kick and do everything you could, and that included your real estate agent had to get in there and either cut prices or advertise heavily or offer spiffs or different things to get buyers to come in. Today, a lot of the real estate agents that you investors are going to be using don't have the background. They've not been through a slump. Remember, the last time we were in a really severe downward slump, 2007, is 15 years ago. And so a lot of these folks, they don't know the creative ways that you need to undertake and partake in order to get a house sold quickly. And speed is really what it's about. The two most important things speed-wise as a real estate investor is the speed of rehab, and more importantly, even in my opinion, the speed that we sell a house. Time is money on this gig, and the longer you spend without a check in your pocket at the end of the game, the more it costs you and the smaller that check's going to be, because interest is going to eat it up, maintenance is going to eat it up, taxes, so on and so forth. So you don't want to be that. You've got to make sure that when you find yourself your investor-friendly real estate agent, and keep in mind we're big proponents of working with a local real estate agent, even though we do a national virtual business. When you're looking for that person, make sure you get somebody who's got some experience, somebody who's been down the road, has maybe been through the last recession, or at least knows how to pivot. Now, some specific things that you can do and you can recommend to your real estate agent. Number one, let's make sure we price right below the existing market. So there's no more of these days of putting out a price and expecting 42 bids above it. That's not happening today. Today, if you price at the top of the market, you're probably not even going to get offers, because remember, the newer real estate agents are also representing the buyers. And from the buyer's standpoint, they are only used to, here's the price and we have to give that price or above. They're not used to ever making an offer, and a lot of them have never made an offer below asking price. And so if the asking price is too high because your agent priced it at the top of the market, you will get zero offers. You'll get none, even though a house is great. So we're running across this today on a house we've got that we put on the market. It's been on the market, I think, 3 weeks now. We have had dozens of people come through. Everyone writes glowing reviews about the quality of the rehab, the house, the location, the neighborhood, all that kind of stuff, but we haven't got a single offer yet. And the problem is the agent had priced it probably $15,000 above the market to see if we could entice some people. That didn't work. So now we got to drop, got to stay ahead of the market. And the real pros, the hedge funds who are unloading their portfolios, are now making sure that if this is the top of the market and this is the bottom, they go right here. You price it right below the bottom of the market in terms of the spread, and you'll get stuff sold quickly. And at that point, you will get offers above the asking price. This was back 15 years ago, how this game worked, or 18 years ago. You'd have a low price. If it was very low, then you would get a bidding war. Everybody who's only been in it the last 15 years is just seeing a regular high price, and you better hurry and put an offer in because it's going to go higher than that. It's not happening today. So another thing you can do is offer to pay down points. Make sure your agent puts that in the MLS notes. You can do buyer's points. You can buy down buyer's interest. You can do things like offering what we used to do in the old days. We offered big screen TVs. Of course, they're a lot cheaper today than they were, but for each side of the transaction, the agent who represented us and the agent who sells, or maybe the buyer's agent who brings us a successful buyer, we give them a TV or computer or something. I'm not even sure if you can still do that today, but there are other ways and other incentives that you can put into the mix to get an otherwise recalcitrant buyer to get over the finish line and at least get you an offer. Remember, encourage offers that may come in below your asking price, because at least you've got some options. So you can say things like, I'm looking for $159,000 or best offer, or $159,000, and send me your offers, let's make a deal. Verbiage like that may indicate in the market we've just gotten through that you're desperate. In a down market would actually indicate you're flexible to most buyers. And if you're overtly indicative of being flexible, you're more likely to get an offer. It will be below your ask, below your list price, but you'll get it sold, and you'll get it sold quicker. And that's, once again, goes back to the number one topic here. You've got to make sure that you do things fast. Everything's got to be done in hyperspeed. For those of you who have ever watched Flip This House, it's been going 20 years or so now. They're always about time. We've got to hurry up. We've got to get the open house done. We've got to get this product on the market, this house back on the market right away. It's important in this business to always measure time. The longer your house sits in your name on the market, or in a state of rehab, for example, unfinished rehab, it's costing you money. So you got to get going. Time is against you on this thing. And contrary to what I'm doing here, taking some leisure time and having some fun, you got to hustle this thing up. Once you get successful at doing what I'm described, you can do more of this. Hopefully that makes sense. All right.